The South Pole, also known as the geographic South Pole, terrestrial South Pole or 90th parallel south, is the southernmost point on Earth and lies antipodally on the opposite side of Earth from the North Pole, at a distance of 12,430 miles, 20,004 kilometers, in all directions. It is one of the 2 points where Earth's axis of rotation intersects its surface. Situated on the continent of Antarctica, it is the site of the United States Amundsen, Scott South Pole Station, which was established in 1956 and has been permanently staffed since that year. The geographic South Pole is distinct from the South Magnetic Pole, the position of which is defined based on Earth's magnetic field. The South Pole is the center of the Southern Hemisphere. For most purposes, the geographic South Pole is defined as the southern point of the 2 points where Earth's axis of rotation intersects its surface, the other being the geographic North Pole. However, Earth's axis of rotation is actually subject to very small wobbles, polar motion, so this definition is not adequate for very precise work. The geographic coordinates of the South Pole are usually given simply as 90 degrees south, since its longitude is geometrically undefined and irrelevant. When a longitude is desired, it may be given as 0 degrees. At the South Pole, all directions face north. For this reason, directions at the pole are given relative to grid north, which points northward along the prime meridian, 1 along tight latitude circles, clockwise is east, and anti-clockwise is west, opposite to the North Pole. The geographic South Pole is presently located on the continent of Antarctica, although this has not been the case for all of Earth's history because of continental drift. It sits atop a featureless, barren, windswept and icy plateau at an altitude of 2,835 meters, 9,301 feet, above sea level, and is located about 1,300 kilometers, 810 miles, from the nearest open sea at the Bay of Whales. The ice is estimated to be about 2,700 meters, 8,900 feet, thick at the pole, so the land surface under the ice sheet is actually near sea level. The polar ice sheet is moving at a rate of roughly 10 meters, 33 feet, per year in a direction between 37 degrees and 40 degrees west of grid north, 3, down towards the Weddell Sea. Therefore, the position of the station and other artificial features relative to the geographic pole gradually shift over time. Garmin GPS receiver showing 90 deg south, the South Pole. The geographic South Pole is marked by a stake in the ice alongside a small sign. These are repositioned each year in a ceremony on New Year's Day to compensate for the movement of the ice. The sign records the respective dates that Roald Amundsen and Robert F. Scott reached the pole, followed by a short quotation from each man, and gives the elevation as 9,301 feet. A new marker stake is designed and fabricated each year by staff at the site. During winter, May through August, the South Pole receives no sunlight at all, and is completely dark apart from moonlight. In summer, November through February, the sun is continuously above the horizon and appears to move in a counterclockwise circle. However, it is always low in the sky, reaching a maximum of 23.5 degrees around the December solstice, because of the 23.5 degrees tilt of the Earth's axis. Much of the sunlight that does reach the surface is reflected by the white snow. This lack of warmth from the sun, combined with the high altitude, about 2,800 meters, 9,200 feet, means that the South Pole has one of the coldest climates on Earth, though it is not quite the coldest. That record goes to the region in the vicinity of the Vostok Station, also in Antarctica, which lies at a higher elevation. The South Pole is at an altitude of 9,200 feet, 2,800 meters, but feels like 11,000 feet, 3,400 m. 31. Centrifugal force from the spin of the planet pulls the atmosphere toward the equator. The South Pole is colder than the North Pole, primarily because of the elevation difference and for being in the middle of a continent. The North Pole is a few feet from sea level in the middle of an ocean. In most places on Earth, local time is determined by longitude, such that the time of day is more or less synchronized to the perceived position of the sun in the sky. For example, at midday the sun is roughly perceived to be at its highest. This line of reasoning fails at the South Pole, where the sun is seen to rise and set only once per year, with solar elevation varying only with day of the year, not time of day. Because there are more than 24 time zones in the world and they all meet up at the South Pole, it can be any hour, any minute, any second at the South Pole. There is no a priori reason for placing the South Pole in any particular time zone, but as a matter of practical convenience, the Amundsen, Scott South Pole Station, keeps New Zealand time, UTC+12/UTC+13. This is because the US flies its resupply missions, Operation Deep Freeze, out of McMurdo Station, which is supplied from Christchurch, New Zealand. Due to its exceptionally harsh climate, there are no native resident plants or animals at the South Pole. Off-course South Polar skuas and snow petrels are occasionally seen there. In 2000 it was reported that microbes had been detected living in the South Pole ice. 43, scientists published in the journal Gondwana Research that evidence had been found of dinosaurs with feathers to protect the animals from the extreme cold. The fossils had been found over 100 years ago in Coonawarra, Australia, but in sediment which had accumulated under a lake which had been near to the South Pole millions of years ago.